All right, everybody. Status post Federal Reserve. What a day. I mean, seriously, what a day. Let's put a perspective on this. No surprise. The Federal Reserve did cut rates today. I don't know how many of you had the displeasure again of watching Yellowstone talk. Well, what did he say? Nothing that you and I already didn't realize was going to come out of his mouth. Some of it was absolutely scripted, and he was reading. Did you see that? He was asked a question, and then all of a sudden he's reading the answer. Not all of it is scripted. That I will say, but most of it is. Not one person asked him a real question, in my view. But again, this is a show. It's not real. You know that. So how did the market respond? Kind of interestingly. Well, how did the president respond? How many of you are going to be shocked to find out that the president, go to his Twitter feed, bashed the Fed right off the bat? No vision, no guts. The president wants to rob you blind by having rates be suppressed further, dollar intervention, and vastly expanding the debt. The president actually believes that you are so stupid that you will believe that his failed economy, it's failing, is the Federal Reserve's fault. It's not his fault. It's because the Fed is not pushing enough easy money into this market. That's whose fault it is. You can't make this stuff up if you tried. But there are some that will believe that because they have been dumbed down to a very high degree. And I know that's not you if you're watching this blog. All right, so let's talk about this. The Fed announcement came out, a lot of volatility. Market was all over the place. Surge of debt buying, and I mean a surge of debt buying occurred. The whole yield curve came down, not a surprise. Silver got slammed. Did you see that? Understand. When we're talking about metals here, there's no price discovery mechanism whatsoever, and I'll cover this again real quick. When we're talking about gold and silver, understand how the price is rigged. The hard asset is deriving value from the derivative. Let that sink in. The hard asset is deriving value from the derivative. It's completely upside down. It's like if Apple stock itself were being valued off of the derivative. It's upside down. So with regard to a price discovery mechanism behind gold and silver, it's just not there. The paper market dictates price. It's not real. And I know you get that. At least I hope so if you follow this blog. So anyway, stocks all over the place. At one point, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down over 200 points at 1150 actually, let me get the time right for you because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I posted this. So the market was selling off pretty hard, and it looked like we were going to end the day in the negative. And then all of a sudden, here we go. Here, at exactly 11:49 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, a massive surge of buying came into this market simultaneously. Do any of you find that a little suspicious? Again, we know how this works. Mnuchin's 6 banks, the same 6 banks that run the Fed, they're in here buying the market. The Federal Reserve has their own trading desk. So to see a surge of buying simultaneously hit this market and go from being down over 200 points to being positive, that to me is a little bit too much, and it's right in your face. Because Powell didn't say anything. I mean, we got a 25 basis point cut here to the federal funds rate. Yeah, it looks like what he said, another rate cut's coming this year. We know a series of cuts are coming. But again, look, we already understand that quantitative easing is in effect. You got this repo market thing going on right now. The Fed, capital injections into the market, just like the last meltdown. Look, we are in crisis. You all know that. But you see this? Here. We are in a death spiral that is inescapable. You are going to have the president scream from rooftops louder than ever for massive debt expansion, rate cuts below zero. He wants zero or negative. I'm not making this up. You know it's true. He wants dollar intervention. He wants to steal your purchasing power. How is this good for you? As a member of the middle class, how does this help you? And the Federal Reserve is going to follow through with a series of rate cuts. Period. The end. So that's where we are. So they can rig the price of metals upside down, backwards, and sideways all they want to. Let them play with the derivative. You and I are holding the hard asset in our hand. Period. It's just so simple to know. Let them do what they got to do. Let them play their game. We're going to play our game. I don't know another way to put it. So understand where we are right now in this market. The market seems to be happy. At least we ended positive. This is the 6 banks that are buying the stock market. Understand, it's 6 Wall Street banks buying the market and the Federal Reserve. The same 6 banks that run the Fed and the Federal Reserve. They're buying stocks. Let me ask you, does it seem too far-fetched to you that we have backdoor quantitative easing going on right now? We have capital injections into the market because of this whole repo market going berserk to the tune of billions and billions of dollars. I think one was 55 billion or the 76 billion, however it's going to work out. So they're capital injections, bailouts for the banks, reliquefying the banks. Do you find it far-fetched that the Fed is actually buying stocks here too? Of course not. The Fed is buying the stock market. They bought it today. Mnuchin's 6 banks bought the market today. This is where we are at. It's a completely managed market. There's no difference between what we have here and what we have in communist China. All right, their markets are rigged. Their economy is rigged. That's what we have here. You cannot believe a single data point coming out of China. That's the truth. You cannot believe a single data point coming out of the mouth of the President of the United States, very sad to say, and the rest of the crew. They are master manipulators on an unprecedented scale. And again, the President thinks you are so stupid that you will believe that his failed economy, because that's what we are failing. Do you believe that all this would be going on right now? Zero rates, calling for negative rates, dollar intervention, capital injections into the financial sector. Would this be happening if our economy was really booming? We are in failure mode. But the president thinks you are so dumb, so dumbed down, that you will believe that it's the Federal Reserve's fault why he has failed. Period. Prove me wrong, one of you. Prove me wrong. Would any of this be going on right now if we were not in a failed state? We have a failed state right now, and we're all being lied to on a grand scale. I mean, seriously, they want us to believe that we need rate cuts right now. The banks need capital injections again. We need quantitative easing because our economy is booming. If you tried to write this stuff down and sell it to someone, it would be impossible. But that's what's being sold to you right out of the mouth of the President of the United States of America. It's an embarrassment. You should be embarrassed if you are an American citizen, because you are being laughed at by people around the world. And how do I know that? This blog is global, and I hear from people all around the world who believe, people around the world believe that you, as an American citizen, are a laughing stock. It's the truth. And you believe this stuff. And I know you don't if you follow this blog, but there are some who do. There is entire shill YouTube blogs, you know who they are, who are being paid to put out propaganda. You know who these YouTube channels are, and you should be taking action against them. That's the truth. Anyway, with that said, I hope that you found this interesting and it's all 100% true. Anyway, please share this video. Get it out there as far and wide as you can. One last thing. A lot of you are being unsubbed from my channel. It's not me unsubbing anyone. I don't even know how to, I can block people, but I don't unsub anybody. So if you're one of those that are being unsubbed, see if you're still subbed to this channel. You're not getting notifications. You're not getting told when my videos are out. I don't know what's going on here. But it's not me. I promise you it's not me. I don't even know how to unsub people. Like I said, I can block people, but hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of people are telling me, Greg, I'm getting unsubbed. Greg, I'm getting unsubbed. I don't know what's going on. It's not my fault. All right. I love you. That's the truth. I'll see you in the morning, and we're going to have more fun than today, believe it or not.